All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division. We're going to be in the 135-pound division, where Gervonta Davis, according to certain fans' logic, is being blackballed in the lightweight division, the same way that people say that Terrence Crawford was blackballed in the 147-pound division, but Gervonta is being blackballed despite being the guy bringing in all the money, and is getting a ton of criticism for being blackballed by Top Rank. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, where Gervonta Tank Davis is the big name in that division, and people are wondering who he's going to fight next. And the name that has come up from Calvin Ford and have come up in a lot of conversations, which is very realistic and could take place, not saying that it will, could take place, is Isaac Cruz. And of course, there's a lot of people saying they don't want to see that fight, and that Gervonta Davis is a protected fighter and they're never going to pick to fight anybody. The only problem with that is that when we talk about Terrence Crawford and how long it was before Terrence Crawford could get a fight with Errol Spence Jr., how he was blackballed by the PBC. Many people saying this accept the notion that the PBC blackballed Terrence Crawford. I don't, but many people do. And if Terrence Crawford was blackballed by the PBC, then you have to say that Gervonta Davis gets to fight whoever he wants to fight because he's blackballed by Top Rank. Now, before I get into the details of that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does mean a difference, make a difference to the channel, a lot more than you know. Thank you to everybody that watches, and thank you to everybody that supports, like my guy Mike Kirkland and Paul Carrick. What's going on to both of y'all, man? Thank y'all for supporting in the super thanks. You are definitely not missed, and it's not missed, and you are greatly appreciated. But let's get into this. Throughout boxing conversations, because we're a fan channel, okay? I'm a boxing fan. If you're listening to this video, you more than likely are a boxing fan. Not a manager, not a promoter, right? Very few of you professional fighters right now. Some of you are, most of you are not. So we're looking at this stuff from a fan perspective. And fan perspective sometimes can be fickled. So in this video, I am going to share my opinion about Gervonta Tank Davis and the very fickle treatment that he gets relative to other people in the sport of boxing. Now, Gervonta Davis, when he was going to fight Rolly Romero the first time, and Rolly Romero had some difficulties outside the ring, had some accusations made, which thankfully wound up going away for the young man. I like Rolly Romero. Glad that those problems went away. He fought Isaac Cruz. Gervonta Davis fought Isaac Cruz instead of him. That is the first time in a long time that Gervonta Davis went 12 rounds. And there were a lot of people that acted as if Gervonta Davis was exposed and that they thought he lost the fight. Now, Isaac Cruz has a little bit of momentum behind his name. He also has a very decent sized fan base, being a fighter from Mexico, and they traditionally get a lot of support from Mexican fans. So Calvin Ford said, the trainer of Gervonta Davis, said that he would consider a rematch with Isaac Cruz. Now, why would that be? Because Isaac Cruz has a fan base that's different than Gervonta Davis's fan base, they can come together and make a lot of money. And so what they're trying to do is make money. And at the same time, Isaac Cruz is, I do believe, number one or close to it in the, or he's in the, at very least, he's going to be in the top 5. I go look of the WBA, right? So he's definitely a legitimate fighter. However, people are saying they don't want to see that fight, and they want to see him fight other fighters. Now, here's the thing. The same thing was said about Terrence Crawford. When Terrence Crawford's at 140 pounds, people wanted to see Terrence Crawford fight people that were with the PBC. But Terrence Crawford said that he had been blackballed, and they wouldn't give him the fight, and they made him wait 5 years to get the fight. And a lot of people support that and say that, yes, the PBC did blackball Terrence Crawford. Well, here's the thing. If Terrence Crawford is being blackballed, so is Gervonta Davis, because the circumstances are the exact same thing. The only thing that flips is the money. The only thing that flips is the money. With Gervonta Davis, he cannot fight for any of the major championship belts without doing business with Bob Arum. All of the championship belts are held by a top-ranked, up until right now, where you have Devin Haney, who is now going up to 140 to fight Regis Prograis, we assume. The rest of those belts that entire time have been held by top-ranked fighters, or the fights for all of the fights have been on ESPN on a top-ranked card. All of them. Up until Devin Haney's next fight. So, if you have Shakur Stevenson, who was with Top Rank, and you have Keyshawn Davis, who's with Top Rank, you have Vasily Lomachenko, who was with Top Rank, you have Jeremiah Nakathila, who is, I think Nakathila might have got beaten. But you have all of these guys that with Top Rank. How is Gervonta Davis going to make a fight with them if Bob Arum says things like what he said with Shakur Stevenson, that why would I make a fight between Gervonta Davis and Shakur when they're going to both want these huge guarantees and I may not make any money? That is what Bob Arum said about the number one guy that he has in the lightweight division right now. If that's the case with Shakur Stevenson, it's also the case with Vasily Lomachenko as well. Why would I make a fight with Vasily Lomachenko when I'm going to have to pay big guarantees and I don't know if the fight's going to do well? That applies to Lomachenko, because he's not going to make a lot of money in that fight, Bob Arum, because the fight's going to have to be on Showtime, because the money is with Gervonta Davis. So once again, what is the difference between the situation Terrence Crawford was in, where Terrence Crawford could only fight for a belt that was held by a fighter associated with Top Rank at the time, who was Jeff Horn, at the end of a 3-fight deal that he signed in order to get the Manny Pacquiao fight, and what Gervonta Davis is going through, where Bob Arum, who you have to be a delusional fool if you don't think he's got locks in on all of those belts, seeing as all of those belts since Mikey Garcia left have been fought for within his promotional company, with the exception of the very short time in which Devin Haney held the WBC title, but Lomachenko had the franchise title and Kambosos had the franchise title. And to get the rest of those, what did Devin Haney have to do? He had to go over there to Top Rank. So when people ask me, and they say, hey, well, what do you think Gervonta Davis should do next? Who do you think he should fight next? I think he should fight whoever he chooses, because none of the fights that he has available to him, realistically available to him, are fights that people are not going to complain about. If Chris Colbert, who beat Rayo Valenzuela, if he stays at 135 pounds, they're going to talk bad about that fight. If he fights Isaac Cruz, they're going to talk bad. They're going to talk poorly about that fight. If he fights Frank Martin, I don't care. But leading into the fight, they're going to say something nice about it. But after the fight, if Gervonta beats him, they're going to trash him for that win too, just like they trashed him for beating Ryan Garcia. Because there sure was a whole lot of people talking about how how Tank was afraid of Ryan Garcia and Tank wouldn't make the fight with Ryan Garcia. After he beats Ryan Garcia magically turns into a bum. Magically. When before, and people wanted him to fight Devin Haney was a good fighter. When people wanted him to fight Lomachenko, he was a good fighter. But all of a sudden, he becomes trash right after Gervonta beats him. Now, just oppose that to the treatment of certain other fighters, right? Where you have Deontay Wilder's a complete bum until Tyson Fury beats him, and then he's good enough, just long enough to make Tyson Fury the greatest heavyweight ever. Terrence Crawford with Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is basic. He's a bum. He's basic. He's never beaten anybody. He looks like garbage. All of that stuff they said about Errol. But miraculously, Terrence Crawford becomes the best fighter ever, comparable to Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali for beating him. But the flip side happens when it's a PBC fighter like Gervonta Davis who beats Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia goes from the guy that can beat him that he'll never get in the ring with to a guy that's just garbage and easy to beat, and we knew it the whole time. So my take on the matter is that Gervonta Davis can fight whoever he wants to fight because his fans are going to going to see him fight, period. You got all kind of people that got problems with PBC fighters no matter who they fight. And all the PBC fighters are bums until somebody from Top Rank beats them, and then they're great enough to make these Top Rank fighters or other fighters all-time greats. So at the end of the day, all of this fanosphere conversation that we're in, like I said in the beginning of this video, is whatever. The only thing that's going to count really is the checks that come in. And so if he decides he wants to look at the check because of fans' fickle nature, I don't have a problem with him at all. People said all kind of stuff about Floyd Mayweather Jr. all the way to the end. Yeah, there are a lot of people Floyd could have fought that he didn't fight, right? He didn't fight Margarito. He didn't fight Sean Porter. He didn't fight Keith Thurman. He didn't fight Costa Azul. He didn't fight Acelino Freitas. All these people that he didn't fight. But just remember, dang near everybody that he fought at a point in time, people were saying we're going to beat him until they didn't. And then after that, the win didn't become anything for Floyd until Manny beat the same guy, and it just proved Manny's greatness. Fans are fickle. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.